I want to introduce you to objective reality and my squirrels. Sorry, they just interrupted here. Before I continue with my rant, let's give this little guy a peanut. Okay, so what I was about to say is that you have no idea what objective reality looks like. You only perceive reality through your personal lens. And I want to apply this insight to relationships. Because if you keep saying that all people you meet, all women you meet, all men you meet, doesn't matter, that they are all toxic, so you give up on relationships because they're not worth it, yada yada, you fail to take into account that there are many couples out there who are happy, that there are many men or women out there who have good partners. And if you cannot find a good partner, there's something going on with you. Now, I hate to say that there's something wrong with you. No, actually, I like to say that. I like to tease on you a little bit. But I mean, there's something wrong with everyone. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted because I keep feeding squirrels. So there's something wrong with every one of us, or there's nothing wrong with anyone. The thing is, we all have an upbringing. We all have something that shaped us into who we currently are. And we have a nervous system that reacts to our environment. And the question is, what does your nervous system feel? Oh, there he is. What does your nervous system feel safe with, right? So does it feel safe around a person who would actually be good for you? Does it feel safe around wealth? Or do these things freak you out? You know, probably you wouldn't be able to handle that stuff. And we see that a lot in millionaires, for example, people who win the lottery and who lose all their money very fast. They can't contain the success. They can't hold space for the money, for the wealth, for the sudden improvement of their life. So their nervous system aligns them again with what's familiar. And it's a situation where they have less money, less wealth, less power, less whatever. The same goes for relationships. If you meet a partner who would technically be perfect, so someone who's safe, who's awesome, who's like has great hobbies, a great character, is a good person and everything, you would probably not even pay attention to this person. You would probably not even be attracted to this person. This is why it happens so often that people would say, oh, you know, this man or woman is fantastic, but I just don't have any feelings. Yeah, no shit. It's because your nervous system doesn't react to them at all. What you think is butterflies, what you think is intensity, well, it is intensity, it's just not love. It's what you think love is. It's what you learned that love is. It's what you learned from your upbringing. This is what you would observe in your family. They would show you that intensity is love. They will probably tell you that they love you, or you would assume that they do because this is what families do, but all there was drama. So you would think, oh, drama is love, of course. And even though your head maybe comprehends that there's something wrong with it, your nervous system is still reacting. So I want you to be very clear about that. It's not that relationships are bad. It's not that other people are bad. It's just that you will only react to the people who are not good for you unless you heal your nervous system. There are many different ways how you can rewire yourself, how you can heal your nervous system. One of the things I love to practice with my clients is mindfulness and meditation. Why? Well, meditation, because meditation brings you back home. Another squirrel. Hello. I'll continue. So here you are again. So meditation brings you back home. Once you take time to connect with who you really are. And this is something beyond comprehension. This is something beyond thought. This is something beyond your programming, beyond the programming of your upbringing. Meditation is when you go back into yourself, when you go back into your body, when you feel into what it feels like to be you. By being you, by being in your own energy, in your own authenticity, you also stop blocking the things that would technically be for you, that would technically match your vibration, but you also practice resetting your nervous system. Now look at this little friend. Look at this little friend. Hey, my God, you see, he is going for the peanut. There is a lot of emotional work that also needs to be done. You need to learn how to hold space for positive emotions. Also for uncomfortable emotions, by the way. This is something that many people don't learn, especially men don't learn this, because in our society we learn that emotions are scary, especially like men learn that emotions are scary. You shouldn't have emotions, you should suppress your emotions. And by doing that, you don't learn how to hold space for emotions, how to become a container, a safe space for your own emotions, and how to use them, how to analyze the information that your emotions give you, how you can learn about yourself through your emotions, how you can use your emotions productively. So if you pretend that something isn't there, you also cannot use it. You cannot use it to your advantage. So another thing that I'm doing with people is I teach them how to literally hold space for their emotions. None of it is really comfortable. I mean, I personally, I do find it comfortable. I find it cool because I like doing these things. Like, that's my passion. I do that with myself. I did that with myself a lot. I'm sorry, feeding another squirrel. I did that with myself. Because I also didn't grow up in an environment that would teach me by example what it's like to have all the good stuff, what it's like to have good relationships. I did not have that, but I wanted that. Like, I made the conscious choice that I wanted that. And it's like, I think it's fun to look at the emotions, to look at the information, to go within, to analyze things, to feel things. Like, I find it exciting. I understand that it's uncomfortable and scary for other people. And especially if you are a person who thinks it's uncomfortable and scary, you need support. Like, you won't be able to do that on your own. Just know that there is a way. Like, there is a way to change your situations. There are a million ways to change your situation. But if you don't acknowledge where you are, and if you don't acknowledge your desires, if you don't acknowledge what you want in life, what you actually want, instead of, like, suppressing it, pretending that you don't want it, if you don't acknowledge the things, you can't achieve them. And you will turn bitter, or you probably already are. And that's like, it's unnecessary. Like, just know that you can, you just don't know how. And many people will get angry, or they do get angry at me when I say these things, because it's always like, if you give the people the key to freedom, they have to acknowledge that they sit in a cage in order to take the key from you. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to go there because it's uncomfortable, and they would have to admit that they were sitting in this cage their entire life. But your life isn't over. And if you don't do it now, you keep sitting there for absolutely no reason, while you could do better. I didn't plan to film this podcast, so thanks for listening. But if you are somebody who wants to change their life, if you want change, if you want better for yourself, if you want to break out of the bullshit that you feel is not worth living, give me a call. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to be miserable. You are not here to live through the fuckery that your family would teach you. You don't have to keep going with what you learned. You can do something new. You can create something on your own. Just know that. And if you choose to do that, give me a call.